YouTube follow-on views are a metric you can look at in Google Ads to see if people are viewing your videos organically after interacting with a video ad. This metric doesn't appear automatically within Google Ads, so the first thing we're going to cover is how to make sure that this metric is being imported properly. Then we'll look at the conversion settings and how you want to make sure that it's set up so you can start viewing this reporting. And then we'll talk about how you can use this as a conversion option within some of the newer demand gen video campaign types. I just mentioned in the intro that follow-on views aren't automatically imported into Google Ads. So the first step you need to do is to make sure that you have a YouTube channel linked to your Google Ads account. And we're assuming this is the YouTube channel that you are also using to run ads. The easiest way to link a YouTube channel is to head on over to Tools and then find Data Manager. We've already done a ton of demo videos, so our connection is complete. But if you're new to this, you may be able to scroll down in Featured Products and find it, or you can just click Connect Product. Search for YouTube. If it's not showing up here, these are pretty much the same options we just saw on the previous screen. I typed in YouTube, assuming this is brand new, so let's click New Link. We want to link the channel, not just a specific video, the whole channel. If the login that you use is associated with a variety of channels, you'd have to pick the right one. That's why I have a bunch blurred out. Click Next, and I would want all three of these checked. Make sure that you're importing counts, audience segments, and engagement. You'd click Next. And since we are an admin in both Google Ads and the YouTube channel, it's easy for us to just link it right away. If you're trying to link to a YouTube channel where you don't have admin access to, there's going to be an extra step or two in order to make this happen. You would need the email address of an admin on the channel. You'd enter it in. They would get a confirmation email to approve linking of the two accounts. Or you can ask an admin of the YouTube channel, again, if it's not yours, to add the email address that you use for Google Ads as an admin on the YouTube channel, and then that would make connection easier. But then you would link, it'd be connected here, you'd see the status as linked, and then you'd be good to go. But the next thing we would want to look at for follow-on views would be goals. I just clicked on goals, it sent me to summary, and once I connected the YouTube channel with Google Ads, I didn't necessarily have to do any extra steps, but I wanted to confirm that it's set up. So we do have these conversion categories. There's purchase, store visit. Scroll down until you find engagement. And here we see YouTube follow-on views. Sorry, just scrolling up a little bit. But if we look at the conversion source, we see YouTube hosted, and by default, we did not touch this yet, so it's a secondary conversion action. This means initially it's not showing up in the main conversions column in Google Ads. However, any follow-on views that you get will show up in the all conversions column. Another difference in terms of optimization is that primary actions are also used in bid optimization, so maximize conversion bid strategies. Since secondary conversion actions only appear in the all conversions column, they're purely for observation. Secondary actions are not used in any of the automated bid strategies. Just for the sake of this video, I want to show you what this goal action has within the deeper settings. You can edit the settings. For whatever reason, you can still assign a value to this goal. You can also switch this action from secondary to primary. You can't change the source, but you can change the click-through conversion window to be something different than the default 30 days. I'm going to click done for now, head back, and then scrolling back down to the engagement section again. I want you to be aware of this part right here where you can edit the goal. And this is the goal category and will count all conversion actions underneath the engagement goal. This engagement is a YouTube hosted goal, but Google does state in their support section, we must have this switched to use engagement as an account default goal. And this is going to be especially important for the newer demand gen campaign types that I also mentioned in the intro. So if that type of engagement campaign is going to be important to you, you may want to also consider changing this action to a primary action. We already have a video about using demand gen to help promote YouTube channel subscriptions. You can check out the video at the top of the screen right now. But after we save this, making engagement an account default goal, we're now able to create engagement specific demand gen campaigns using videos. So let's start building one. I'm going to head back to campaigns, create a new campaign. Here, I would want to choose awareness and consideration. Scrolling down, I would then want to choose YouTube subscriptions and engagements. And then we see demand gen is our only option. After I click continue, here we see YouTube engagements can be selected. Now it's pretty much the same process we did in the YouTube subscription version for the demand gen campaign, but just understand since I updated the follow-on views engagement settings, this campaign can now optimize towards follow-on views, as a primary action. If you're building this type of campaign and you've left follow-on views as a secondary action, it'll only report on the views. You'll still be able to see them in the all conversions column. But remember, follow-on views are if they have looked at organic videos after interacting with your ad. Those additional actions are free. If they're viewing it organic, we're not paying for those extra additional views. However, I can still tell Google I want to optimize to try to get in front of more users who are likely to go on and watch more videos, especially ones who could be interested in my brand or whatever I'm trying to sell or promote. But you cannot optimize for those additional engagements if you have follow-on views set as a secondary action. You would then just be optimizing for subscriptions and then viewing the follow-on views as an additional engagement purely for reporting and observation. I feel like I've said that a lot already in this video, even though it's not a long video, but I want to make sure that's stuck in your head, setting the right expectations. But then you would scroll down, add in your budget. Nope, I'm good with $10. Choose your devices. In this case, when I'm looking at engagement, I'm actually okay with TV screens. I know it's harder to perform some of those actions, but in my opinion, TV is good for engagement, so I'm going to leave it on. Then your ad group will have our locations, your languages, depending on what video creative you have. Choose which networks you want to be a part of. I'm always turning display off. If you don't feel like you have great video creative yet for YouTube Shorts, you can turn that off. One of the beauty of demand gen is that you can create channel specific ad groups, and we do this a lot. So I'll create an ad group just for in-stream, an ad group just for in-feed, an ad group just for shorts. Uncheck these. So let's just say I have a nice 15-second video. May not want to use that for in-feed. I like to use in-feed for some of the longer form content when people actually really want to watch something. So do what works best for your account. Choose your audience, and then I'm going to turn off optimized targeting. I created this audience for a reason. It already has a large enough size. I don't need to find someone beyond this large enough size. So I'll go to the ad. Of course, it's video because it's YouTube engagement. There's the URL. Add up to your 20 images, up to 5 headlines, up to 5 descriptions. Add in your business name. You would go on to review, and if there aren't any errors earlier in the campaign, you would be able to launch the campaign. For now, I'm going to X out of this, and let's see. We do have some demand gen campaigns, at least maybe some drafts, but let's say your campaign is live. Where would you look at your follow-on views? There won't be a column for it. Don't get views confused with follow-on views. These are the initial ad views. Remember, follow-on views are organic. Organic is not going to show up as a natural view within Google Ads. And also remember, we set it up as a goal conversion. So yes, and of course, I don't have conversions in this view, so you can just go to your columns, maybe choose the conversions view or modify your columns to include it. It would show up in conversions. If you have it as primary, you would then need to go to modify again and then add in the all conversions column if you've left follow-on views as a secondary action. But whether you've had it as conversions or all conversions, you can go to segment, conversions, and then conversion action. This is our demo account. We're not running anything, but even at the account level, how there's certain actions broken down, same thing will happen towards any of the campaigns where follow-on views would happen. When you segment it out, you'll see it from certain campaigns, so you know which engagement demand gen campaign has been getting follow-on views. Or if you just have the one and you were breaking it out by several ad groups, like I mentioned before, you can go within one campaign, still segment things out by the conversion action. Again, it's not going to be here because we're not running anything. And then you'll be able to see however you broke it out, whether it's by creative, channel placement, targeting, whatever, you'll be able to see how each of your breakouts are bringing in follow-on views. YouTube is still such an effective channel to build awareness. But in many cases, we are getting in front of users who may not be ready to buy right away, especially if your product is a little bit more expensive. We're advertising to people who may not be familiar with your brand. They're going to YouTube to watch specific videos. We're kind of interrupting that experience. And I say kind of because in-feed's a little bit different. They could see a nice title card, they could see a good video headline and want to click on it to watch it. Fair enough. But they didn't initially go to YouTube to watch you. So to have that expectation of, hey, they saw one video ad, they should convert right away, it's not really the right mindset to have. But it's valuable for us to see if they've at least become interested in our brand. Are they going on to watch additional videos? And if it's organic, that's perfect because I'm not paying for any of those additional organic views. It's very similar to the earned views video action. So if you're starting to see more of these follow-on views and you're wondering what else you can do with them, maybe head on over to Tools again, Shared Library, go to Audience Manager, and consider starting to build some audiences from these YouTube user views. This is another action that you cannot do unless you have the YouTube channel linked with your Google Ads account. So when you open this up, you'll have YouTube users. Yes, you would name the audience for right now, just selecting the channel. And there are several options for YouTube user audiences that you can create. But remember, follow on views are organic views. So you can create separate audiences if they viewed your video as an ad, but make sure that you always create audiences of people who viewed any video. Set the audience duration to what you would like. I believe it's up to 540 days. Pre-fill from the past 30 days to build the audience quicker. And then after you save it, you can then use that audience in several different types of remarketing campaigns. It's great that you're building a following, getting more YouTube subscribers, getting more people to watch your videos. Now let's encourage those users to perform some sort of action after they've engaged with your brand several times. If you have any more questions on YouTube follow-on views, feel free to ask in the comment section and start a discussion with the community.
Thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up below. If you really liked it, maybe think about subscribing to the Paid Media Pros YouTube channel and you'll get alerted every time a new video drops.
If you really liked it, you can help support the channel by checking out some of the t-shirts that we're wearing on our merch shelf, as well as looking at the Super Thanks button.